I'm going to start with the process of getting this garage cleaned out. Well, I just wanted to give you a glimpse right before I finished with clearing all that out, a glimpse of the potential in this. The more I thought about it, the more I was thinking I'm crazy not to take advantage of this place. So obviously I have a lot to clear out of here, but I'm going to have to fix this crack like I pointed out before, and I've been doing some research in that. Obviously the rewiring everything. But now that I have some experience doing my tiny house shed thing, I feel some confidence in doing that. So every little step of progress I make, it gets inspiring as I see this. Makes me wonder why I haven't thought of this before. Maybe it just took this progress or my learning process to get this far and to really see the potential of this. But I'm looking up here at the potential of a bigger loft here. I kind of put one together a while ago, and I was going to take out this pole and attach a, I don't know what you call it, brace up there, wooden brace, reinforce that and have it be supported up there. And then the same with the extended loft storage area here. And I'll have to put up some 2x6s instead of those 2x4s, but still researching how to fix a crack in the concrete. I won't have to do very much, honestly. It doesn't look like. I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to pretty much leave it as it is. I'm not going to do a lot of it. I might put a finish over on top of it, fill in some cracks and stuff, but so much room in here. It just seems like there's more room than even my main house. I mean, well, I know there isn't. It's smaller, but it just so much more exciting enough. Everything's pretty much set up, ready to go. So this part is one thing I have to study a little bit. There's this gap going on, and I'm not sure exactly why it's. I don't know enough about concrete foundations or the history of how they did it before. They did the slab separately from the wall foundation, and I don't know if the wall foundation has a footer or not. The footer is what I've learned is usually separate from the foundation, and I don't know how far down it goes. Maybe it's supposed to be I think about 4 feet for the frost line, but I don't know if this actually goes down that far. Tried to stick this down there and feel, but I know the slab is about 5 inches thick. It's about right there, like 4 or 5 inches. So I'm just kind of gathering information and poking around, seeing what's down there. I had to dig all this dirt out, so I'm not going to dig any lower than this slab, and I'll probably end up filling it in with some extra concrete. And seems like this bottom plate, it's just a 2x4, but I guess they call it a bottom plate. I don't think it's treated, but it seems like it's consistent all the way across. For how many inches? So what is that? Three and a half inches or something? It seems like it's consistent all the way through. So I don't know, maybe this wall foundation settled a bit, sank down, I'm not quite sure yet. I'm just kind of getting an idea. But when I look at it up here, it doesn't look like it's sunk down at all. Looks like it's still pretty straight. But maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me, because it's only you know, a couple maybe an inch and a half sunk down, so there's not a significant amount of sinkage, but it looks really straight. So I'm not going to really worry that much. This garage is going to be incredibly better than the main house foundation. All right, so I'm looking at it again, and I think I'm figuring out that it's consistently settled about an inch and a half all the way around. So I think that's why it looks level all the way around. And so maybe that'll work out. So even on this side, you probably can't see it, but it's sunk down about an inch and a half maybe, all the way up until about here. So here it looks probably like the original, how it was built a while ago. So if anything, this will have a slight inch and a half decline, but that is not concerning to me at all. I mean, honestly, this is this turns into excitement. I never get sick of the idea of knowing that I've paid off a house. It just turns into something extremely fun, just knowing that you've got a house and you've got something to work with, and your imagination can just kind of go crazy. Finally got this thing pulled out. It's taken a few days for me to get it this far, and I'm gonna have to clean this floor with some awesome floor cleaner. You can see the settling is pretty much the same all the way around on that wall foundation. This cardboard was all around on all these walls. I guess they used it for insulation before, but it was everywhere. It made this whole garage look crappy, and when I pulled it off, I'm like, wow, this is actually not that bad when it's pulled off of there. So this is the example of what's been around this house. I mean, basically just, jimmy rigging and just kind of slapping something on there real quick and hoping that it works. So yeah, this actually gives me a lot of confidence when I see this stuff, especially when I don't know very much about this stuff. I'm like, okay, well, I know at least that's not very effective. So this is going to help me start from scratch. And if you remember, when I first moved in here, I didn't really have anywhere to put stuff. So, typically you just kind of pile stuff up and you think you're going to get it to it later, and you can never catch up with it. You probably have experienced that yourself. But I'm putting things out in categories of things to throw away, give away, or something. And then it'll just give me a clean slate of just being able to plan on exactly what I want to do, and only the things that I need and not things that I'm just kind of throwing in there. All right, I'm going to try to show you here as I dig out this dirt in the crack. I am starting to understand it better now. I know it's hard to see on the video, but I'm just showing you the gap there and where the dirt was. I think I read a comment in there that the water gets in there in the dirt and then it expands when it freezes, and that's kind of what I was thinking that it was doing. So I'm gonna think about I'm gonna try to fill that in with something, and if I fill it with concrete, I want to seal it up so it doesn't get more moisture in there and keep widening it out. And I'm gonna have to probably think about getting one of those expander layers, whatever they're called in concrete work. They're made of fabric or something. I don't know what it, rubber, but it just goes in between there so it has room to expand and contract and stuff. So I'll have to research that. But on this end, you can kind of see in the corner where it busted off in the corner, and it's expanding out in the bottom there, where the mouse trap is. You can see the bottom where it's bottom panel there. So I'm getting a better sense of what the condition of this is. I mean, this is 1,000 times better than the main house, that's for sure. So and this has been here for decades. So I am not at all discouraged by this. And as I do it, it's just going to be, it's going to be a man cave anyway, and I'll just kind of improvise and think about how I'm going to fill in those cracks and prevent it from expanding. Seal it off so that no more moisture gets in there. Insulation, all that stuff. So I just want to give a close look at that. So I'm trying to get rid of these couches and stuff. They're still good as far as the cushion and the structure, but I might just put a cover on those. But this is what I was going for, this nice homey look with a scooter and a mower. That's the design. Got a little excited, so I got my Xbox on my little screen there. Tested out the man cave relaxation. And I'm starting to think about gathering materials for ideas. I had this in my parents' house for a table for their kitchen area. I made a temporary kitchen area down in the basement for them because my brother had to live in the same house and stuff. So this is the table that was that I sanded down. I just kind of made it look into like a barn style thing. So I'm going to probably utilize that because that's really good wood. And then I still have more materials to work with here. And for my parents' temporary kitchen area, I built these things for shelves for their pots and pans and stuff like that. I had this part, and there was another part on top of that just for a shelf. I mean, this is kind of thrown together. I might do this a lot better. I mean, put some touches on that, stain it and stuff. But this is cut out from an old fence. Didn't have to do much work, just kind of buzz saw it and then use the other section. And I've got these poles that are pretty good looking there. Those are awesome rustic looking things. And then I'll just take you over here. I know this whole thing is a mess. I understand that. It's a construction site basically. So I've got these little rustic things, pallets, and then this is the top of that fence that I was telling you about. I had little poles holding it up. So I've got that to work with, and some more metal sheeting. I'm getting better. I feel more confident about doing rustic stuff. And this is a rustic metal end table or whatever that is from my grandma's. So, and I know I have some other things that look like that. So it's not going to take too much to get this going. This is the other shelf that I was probably going to use. This is for my grandma's. This is already rustic looking, so I don't need this for toilet paper. I just used it for that. And then just other things around the house. Rustic pipes, rustic full size bed there. I might even use that barn sink back there. I mean, it's a cast iron sink, but I liked how it was just one sink and just really big. Got my other pile of metals, hinges. Just kind of a collection of metal to use. I love these big long bolts because you can bend them however you want and make cool things. And then my other rustic metal collection, and I still got my leftover wood. So it's been raining. This is the perfect time to just check around for leaks. So of course this is from the window, the splash area right here. So I'm just doing a quick scan, taking advantage of this time to just spot all the leaks so I don't have to deal with them later. Fix them now while I can. So everything looks pretty good actually, which is very surprising. That roof is probably due for replacement. Thought I saw a little drip over here, but I think the only significant spot is right up here. And I've seen that before, and it's been going for a while, it looks like. You can see a drip. But that's good to know. It's very good information. But once I get the new roof on there, I'm gonna use the metal roofing. I'll just put it right over the shingles, and then I'll pay close attention to that one spot. Just make sure that's sealed up. Looks like there is one repair job someone did, but kind of threw it together, but it looks like it's doing alright. I don't see any leaking. Does kind of look moist down there, but it might just be oil from that looks like oil that's just kind of soaked in there. Yeah, there you go. That's it looks wet there, but it's just stained from before. I mean, it might be a little moisture coming in, but it just looks like it was just previous stains. It just is darker there. I put this temporary piece of plastic up there that's keeping most of the rain out. I'll just pop my head out there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I just got my little office set up here. I'm already using it, so this is going to come in handy here. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. See how open that is. So it might cause some of that moisture to come in there. But considering that it looks like this, and that roof, I mean, you can see it bubbling up there and like hurling up. And that, whatever you call it, the I think the rake or the side there, is like this all the way around. So it's pretty amazing how dry it stays in here considering all that. It rained a little harder yesterday and brought in some more moisture. So this is one of the indications of moisture coming in from the outside. And I'll show you what happened. And the comment from Forget the name of the profile. I think it was. I'll think of it in a second, but as I noticed that this side right here, you can kind of see where the water is eroded away from dripping down. That's because this doesn't have gutters, and so it pools up here and then it goes straight in over there into the house. That's good to know. I'm glad I noticed that. And all the rain here from I did put up this gutter to prevent it from going into the house, because it was all pooling up here like a big, huge puddle. And at least I got it to divert over here and pool over here and kind of drain off. But there's still that to pay attention to. So the profile comment was all for one, I think. Let me just check. Yeah, a team of one. So the crack in the garage floor is from water running off the roof and getting under the slab and freezing. And it says put up gutters. And that's what I was kind of thinking, but this is like the evidence of that. And just kind of soaking in, and it would have soaked in right into the dirt over on this side. And then during the freeze thaw cycles over the years, it would just like keep widening it out, and then more dirt would get in there as people would sweep up or whatever. It'd freeze again and keep expanding. So I'm gonna have to keep this in mind as I'm doing my repairs on this, because if I fill it in with more concrete, it's just gonna keep doing the same thing if I don't do some preventative things. So yeah, that's a very good thing to think about. I mean, this has been here for decades, so it's taken decades to do this. So I'm not like over anxious about it, but it's good to keep this in mind, and just to pay attention during rainstorms to know what the rain is doing. I don't have to worry about flooding, but these are the things I have to worry about. I do have a temporary editing station. I had to borrow my brother's computer, but I'm trying to get back up and running with editing cool stuff. But if you're unfamiliar with this channel, it's pretty much freeing yourself on limited resources and using a lot of innovative things, maybe things we have never heard of. This is just tip of the iceberg of what I'm trying to do, not only with my life, but this $5,000 house represents pretty much the first step of what I'm thinking about doing. And then the longer term thing is figure out what we can do with innovative things that we have never heard of before, or is, hidden stuff that we rarely see. And like, we don't have to use wood anymore. We don't have to use a lot of the materials that we normally think that is typical in a build. A lot of people use aircrete for a lot of things. Insulation, they're experimenting with that. I'm a huge fan of that, because aircrete is basically concrete, but it's like foam concrete. It's like really, really cool stuff. And so you don't have to cut down trees for that type of thing. So, and there's a lot of other things that I've put up videos about. But this is tip of the iceberg. It's going to take a while to kind of get there. But that is what we're looking at. We got to start looking at freedom in every aspect of our lives, to be free from power lines, be free from those things right there, the meters. Be free from, I don't know what else. Just a toilet represents, you've got to have water coming in from the city. You got to have, we rely on the whole the sewer line working and it's somebody else processing, our waste. I know it's convenient, but once something goes wrong with any of those things, we realize we're dependent. In fact, I've already making efforts to become free from having to rely on toilet paper. And I've done videos about, bum guns and bidet systems. And I even invented my own little camping toilet that's a composting toilet / bidet system that's completely off the grid. You could still use your bidet system, don't need toilet paper at all. And so this is one step in doing that, becoming free from that. I haven't used toilet paper in a very long time. So, it only takes one little crisis that we've never thought we would face, and toilet paper is one of them. And so now people are starting to think, in the bidet or a bum gun type of thing, and it's amazing. Once you get off of that, you save a ton of money on toilet paper, and you never have to worry about rushing to the store for something like that, something basic, and you feel a lot better with a bidet system anyway. So this is just one little example, and this system is not completely off grid or anything, but I like to keep it around for guests to use if they want. So we have got to get off the grid in every part of our lives in that way. And so I've just got this mentality of researching it big time and finding out who else is doing this as well. This is a key to our future in freedom. It's very key, and I wish everybody was, just full throttle into doing this. We need to be off grid yesterday, and hopefully we don't have to go through any more, crisis situations to realize that we got to do that. I think Texas just this last winter has probably woken up some people. The derecho that have came through here totally unexpected, woke up some people. Fires in California, you got, just name it, or hurricanes, whatever. You realize that, wow, you don't have a sewer anymore, you don't have a toilet, you don't have water anymore, you don't have power anymore. So we've got to be thinking off grid in every part of our life, and it includes the medical system. And if you think about it, we're in this locked grid system because people are afraid to lose their job, to lose their livelihood, because they have to pay bills too. So it's almost like this gridlock that we're all in because we're afraid to lose our income. But if you think about it, what if we were all completely independent with all of these things? We wouldn't need that job, and we could redirect our energy into the things that we love to work on, and that our passions and our interests that may change periodically in our lives. We could feel free to pursue those things, and then as that well of motivation to do those things that we love, we'll just work really hard to accomplish those visions that we have, and because we're so passionate about it, it just flows through constantly. So we're just in a gridlock of just desperation, survival, and just killing motivation, and every job that we have is just only utilizes one or two talents in our life, and it just really cuts off our motivation in many ways. And it's just in all aspects of our lives, we've got to be thinking about this, preparing to become free in every part of our life.